Rav Tzaddok, hey, Rav Tzaddok. Oh, yeah, Rav Tzaddok. So Rav Tzaddok, okay, so before we do Rav Tzaddok, I just want to add something to the last piece we spoke about. There's a very important principle. And I think it says before, I don't remember, maybe the last week I said it's very important though, so I'm going to repeat it, even if I said it in close proximity, because it's just a very big yesod that Rabbi Yashiv taught. And he said you have to know that your heart is a kodesh kadoshim. So you can't take things to heart that they're going to like stick with you and bring you down. He said things that happen have to be in a certain way external. Your heart, only thing your heart is told to like thanks to Hashem. So everything else, it's like the button. He's like my button. So it doesn't go in your heart. So you have to break. You don't break your heart. Yofi. You don't break your heart. Okay. That's what I want. You don't break your heart, mamish. So you don't break your heart, mamish. You have to learn how to. So on the one hand, experience it, not let it in to break you completely. You're chazak inside, absolutely strong. Because your heart is that's kodesh kadosh, and only letting us is Torah. So otherwise, you can't let the thing. You're not supposed to take things too much to heart. You know, it's hard in general, taking things to heart, even someone else's difficulty is very hard to take to heart. Very hard. Not everyone's sort of melech, he really worked hard on the sinyam. The melech came home and you hear a child crying, one of his neighbors maybe. I mean, in general, he thought maybe it was his house. He felt relief. Oh, it's not for my kids. He's like, melech, what did you learn from your gullahs that you don't understand? Every Yiddish kid, every Jewish child should be the same to you. Like that's an incredible level. He was not a regular level. So like normal people, it's like, what are you talking about? How are you supposed to have that? So Shlomo Zalman actually said one of the tiniest that people had on there's a book called Hagoyin, tries to go into the tiniest of the literature, the misnagim on Hasidus. And of course he said, well, it's a very deep subject, so I can't really go into depth. Anyway, he tried to work out like what does he want exactly. So one of the things that he brings there is that something that took money to daven. If you get money, it's not proper. And of course, it's not positive. It can pollute a relationship between a teacher and a student to say, well, I'll give you money. That's not so good. You have to be careful. Person, be careful from not to try to misuse. The general rule is you have to make sure you're giving the person ruchnias if you're taking gashes, so they know, they feel it's a fair trade. Not that it's just like, oh yeah, just give me money, you know. That's not, it becomes very sordid. That's not good. So mitzad echad, right? So the inyan is that, where was it going with that? I'm sorry, I got a little confused there. So anyway, actually, yes, you have this inyan of the. No, I just lost my train of thought. But anyway, actually, okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. So actually, let's start to see where we're going, right? No, I'm not remembering. It's okay. Obviously, not that important. So actually, you have to be careful. We get to this. So that's number one. You have to kind of the tzar. Feel the tzar. You don't let it take you over. And you have to learn how to deal with things in a proper way. That's very, very key. So Rav Tzaddok is going to go into, okay, so that's most of what I wanted to say, that I said. So then, the rest I'm afraid I lost the track. So actually, fine. So Tzaddok talks about, it's very interesting, there are different animals in our parasha, right? There are 4 different animals to have, okay, I'm going to say that. Sorry about that. Yeah. So there's different animals in our parasha. That these animals, they have different characteristics, right? Different attributes. Right? They have one of the simanim. One of the simanim. One of the simanim of a kosher animal. Right? A kosher animal has to be that it's. I don't think so. I don't think it's above. I think it's below somewhere. And I thought it was out of back, but I guess I'm okay. It doesn't matter. Actually, yeah, fine. So one of the similar of Avodas HaKodesh from Ramad Valley. So one of the simanim, right? You have this Indian, right? You have these 4 different animals that are listed there that have only one siman, right? No question which exact animal is and how it is. So the Chazal say that those animals represent the 4 nations, right? There are 4 nations. The Rizal actually says that these 4 nations really they all combine in one in Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim it encompasses all 4 of these negative nations, right? So you have these 4 nations. These 4 nations. These 4 nations are represented by these 4 animals. So the interesting thing is, what is that supposed to tell me, and how? What does it mean? The animal is cut. It is so the beautiful things that Tzaddok says about this. So the first thing I want to say is that just in general, right? There's the Muslim says it's very beautiful. The Muslim says that the aspect of chewing the cud and breaking through the hooves, breaking through these split hooves. He said this is an aspect of it, like we were speaking a little bit before. Our job is to elevate sparks. He said these animals. He said these 2 simanim together are an expression of spark trying to get out. He said chewing the cud, it's going up again, it's going up again, it's going up again. He said the spark wants to get out. So breaking through like the feet doesn't work. It's trying to break out. It's trying to get out. It's trying to be uplifted. That's what Master explains a little bit why specifically these 2 simanim. Okay, here we go. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So the Madrash says the Gamal is Bavel. Because it picks up, right? It has its cud goes back up, and that's the aspect of these nations.
Somehow it's camel, right?
Yeah, I think so. So you have this. This is the aspect of the of somehow praising Hashem. This nation, that's their positive aspect. That's their positive. Shafan, whatever that is, literally a rabbit, I guess, but I don't know what kind of rabbit exactly. Right? Is Madai. Right? The Medians, and Arnevis is Yavan. Arnevis is the aspect of the Greeks, right? In this Persian type thing, you have the Greeks, right? The Parasam Madai, right? You have these different. So the siman of Tahara, it shows something positive in the Lashon. Right? That's what he wants to say here. That's how he explains it. He says Edom is the Chazir. The Chazir has only split hooves, right? But it doesn't chew its cud. It doesn't go up. So there's no speech happening in this creature. That's what he explains. She said these 3 malchus correspond to Kinatav and Kavod. Kavod is also Gaiva. Right? Bavel is the Bechina of Gaiva. Right? It's the highest part of the statue. That's his vision. Right? Different things. The mice, that's the what Bavel is. It's the Prasum Madai is Taiba. Right? Bechina of Achashverosh, different other things. Right? Yavan, Greece is Kina and Kas. Right? That's Yavan. They're Shmad. They're jealous. They're angry. That's what happens through there. Right? They also correspond. He said that Bavel corresponds to Avodah Zarah, right? Like bow, like different things that happen, right? These in Yanim, right? And then Gili Arayas is Pras, right? This is the Bechina of Gili Arayas. That's what their Indian is, illicit relations, right? And then Shfichus Damim is Yavan. Yavan is the Bechina of. They have a Bechina of murderous, right? In Yom. So what's Edom? He said Edom. Oh, Edom is very special. He said Edom is the shorish of all the klippos. They're the shorish of everything. You got it all. It's all there. That's what he's doing. That's the Rechin of Lashon Sheker. right? They're false. Kind of lashon hara. They speak big. They talk big talk. Okay, so he tries to like kind of hide things. Tzad b'fiv, right? Esav told his father, "Oh, I wanted meiser salt. I wanted meiser things that don't require meiser." So kind of hiding like he's very righteous, but really deep in, there's very bad news. You gotta go all the kind of there, right? It says in times to come, Asher just say he'll put on talis, goes next to Yaakov. It's like, oh, buddy, that's not Esav. Not exactly, right? He said by the Gomel it says, "Parsa eno mafris," right? It's not going to. It's not going to have these split hooves, right? And the shafan. No, I'm sorry. Eno mafris means it was. It didn't have this bechina of this split hooves. And by the shafan it says it's not going to have the bechina of the split hooves.
Split hooves corresponds to what?
We'll see. I already told you one thing. Let's see what he says. He says, I don't remember right now. We'll see. He said, on Neves, he says it doesn't have split hooves. It did have split hooves also in the past, right? He said the reason behind this is that the Gomel is Bavel. This is Bechina. Bavel is Bechina of Gaiva. Gaiva is immediately recognizable. That's why it's in the present, right? Okay, so let's start this again. I'm sorry. Right, Gomel, it says Uparsa in the Mafris is now. That's in the present. That's the Bechina of Gaiva. So it's present, future, and past. Future is the Shafan. That's the Bechina of future. And then you have the Bechina of the Arneves. That's in the past. Fine. So Gaiva, you see in the present. Gaiva is right in the present. That's there might be Gaiva. You figure out about Gaiva. It's very hard to really hide Gaiva. Because there's a feeling of where the person emotionally feels about himself and where he's holding. And Gaiva is very insidious, and there's many levels to Gaiva. To work on it. It's not simple. Right? Shafan is pras. It says they were in various ways, they had a certain amount of tznius, they had a certain amount of modesty.
What's a shafan? What's a shafan?
Shafan is maybe it's this type of rabbit, or something like that, hare or whatever. This type of creature. And never is also something like that, until this effect. So this idiom, because they're very tanur in certain ways, they have a lot of modesty, so it says future. Future will see that their modesty isn't so real. Right? It's like Achashverosh. It's all very nice till the seventh day of drunkenness, and then he starts asking for Vashti or whatever manner. You see that he's really got where he's really holding. He's really holding that in the best place. It's not appropriate to ask. It's very, very inappropriate. It's queen, whatever. Like he was a stable boy. What do you? So he didn't have this ability. This like shows on the whole. He's in the of Yavan. Scene of Greece, right there, as it were, they seem to be very, very upright. Greece, they're logical. They try to have these good midos, right? You try to act in a way that's proper. There are many, they're good books that are proper. Musar Svarim even. Chacham, but Goyim, Tamin, Rishos Lanter, many other sources say that means Musar. You can understand that, Torah not. Torah is above nature, above all these inyanim. But Chachma, sure, they can have Musar. Right, these beautiful books. He said, so you don't see the Tumah in the present tense. He said, but in the past you start to realize, you start to get that, no, their whole shoresh is from bad places. Past where it comes from, where they're up to, and he says, it's well known, Aristotle, it wasn't, the story they found in a brothel. Like, you teach about being upright and building a family and not just messing around, and here you are messing around. He's like, what, because I teach it, that's what I have to be. Like, it's obvious. It's like, again, this idea, the whole shoresh was the messed up shoresh. Which is, again, that doesn't validate the ideas, some of the ideas, at least, if they're good ideas. But that's the that's this very beautiful way he put all the different beautiful.
What was Yavan's creature?
Yavan's creature was the Inyan of the Arnevet. This also this type of rabbit type thing.
So there's 3 rabbits.
Rabbit, hare, no, 2 rabbits, rabbit and hare. But again, I don't know what it is.
Parsamada is 1 rabbit, and Yavan is another.
This kilo, hare and a rabbit of some sort. I don't know exactly I'm not sure the exact which creature that is exactly. And then, of course, you have the Bechina that's called Edom. Edom is totally different creature. So that just show how good it is, but really the Lashon's messed up. All of these creatures, they have a positive in their, all of these inyanim, they have a positive in their divor at least, connecting to Hashem at some level. That's what Rav Tzaddok wants to tie now. But the Mafresh Parasha doesn't have, only the Mafresh Parasha is trying to show how good it is, like it's supposed to have both simanim, but it doesn't have both simanim. That's Bekitzer, a little bit Rav Tzaddok and Parasha stuff.